Well, we were very fortunate that we were able to get Zeke to come to the University of Maryland. He's a guy that brings experience. He'll bring leadership, to the table. He'll bring an understanding of the defense that we run, having played in that system with Coach Stewart, there at Houston. And when you look at it, he'll be the only senior defensive lineman that we have, and that was one of the things that I had talked to him about when he came on his visit. That I expect him to be a leader for us. I expect him to help the younger guys, and so I think it's a great addition for us. I think it's great for him that he's going to be able to play, a fifth year for us at Maryland and compete. There was no promises to him. He knows that he's going to come in and compete, and who's ever the best guy's going to play, and we're going to play. We're going to rotate probably 6 guys up there in the front 3, or whoever. If there's more that we need to rotate, we'll rotate. But I thought that was big for us because the standpoint that now maybe you're not looking at taking a freshman and playing him where you can redshirt a freshman, this year, which I think would be advantageous, for us.
Do you have an idea of what side he's going to play on?
No, I mean, we'll talk about that now that we know that he's in the fold and everything else. And again, he's a guy that could play right or left. And those guys have to be versatile anyhow. So, I mean, yeah, we might start a guy at right or left, but knowing the fact that guys can play, either side. The thing about it is what you want to do is you want to go out and just play to the best of your ability each and every week. That's really the bottom line. And what we have to do, and our players have been doing a great job of just working extremely hard and preparing themselves the best way they can to get ready for August 4th when they report, to start practice on the 5th, and to go out and play the best they can. Our goals don't change. I mean, our goals are still the same. We want to win the Atlantic. We want to win the ACC. We want to go to a BCS bowl game. That's what the focus. That's what all the work has been all about, and that's what it's going to be about from the day that we get started on August the 5th. Well, the big thing when your first couple days of practice, you're very limited because you're only in helmets, the first 2 days, and then helmets and shoulder pads the next 2 days. So, what we try to do is try to install as much as we can on both sides of the ball and special teams, and really try to get our freshmen familiar with the pace in which we practice and the tempo of how we practice, and just see how much they can maybe absorb in those first few practices to kind of get a little bit better feel to see if there's anybody there that's showing anything that would vault them into a position where, hey, we got to take a look at these guys a little bit more to see if they're going to be able to contribute. And then most especially is you do a little bit more conditioning, in those first few days when you're not in the full pads. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna put, I mean, it's the whole method. So I mean, we're gonna throw everything at them, everybody, within those first 5 days, to see how much they can retain, how well they execute it, and then you go back and put parts back in and go over things and do it that way. I feel good about where we are defensively. I think the one thing is that when you take a look at Joe and AJ being gone, but Darius Kilgo's coming back, who was a starter last year. We've got Andre Monroe coming back off an injury. Quentin Jefferson, who I think has the ability to be a really good player, is only going to continue to get better. I think Keith Bowers is a guy that's going to step up in a big way, for us this season. And then, Nate Clark and Alex Walker, competing there at the nose guard. And then having Zeke Reiser, come in from Houston to help there at defensive end. I think that was a big bonus for us. And then, you see where some of these young guys that were redshirted last year and any of these freshmen, if they're going to be physically able to, contribute, I think those guys will do a good job. And then you take a look at the linebackers, Marcus Whitfield, who played last year. Yannick Cujo-Virgil is a young man who transferred in and sat out last year, but we've seen a lot of good things, from him, those two guys, and then we got some young guys coming in at that position that we'll see where they are. You got, Cole Ferrand, who's coming back at the inside, and along with Lauren Goree, who filled in once Meat got hurt. We got to find out who the backups are going to be there, but then Matt Robinson and Alex Twine and Avery Thompson, at the Sam backer position. So, guys who have played, who understand, what we're doing there. And then you got, JJ and Dexter, back who have experience. You got Isaac Goins, who played last year. Alvin Hill, been impressed with him. He played on special teams a year ago. And then I really like Will Likely, who was with us in the spring. So I think we got good depth there at the corner position. And then at safety, you got guys that there are going to compete in terms of Anthony Nixon, Zach Dansell, Sean Davis, and A.J. Hendy. So the one thing is that I like is that we've through injuries and having to play some younger guys the last 2 years, we've really kind of developed some experience and some depth. And the thing is, I think, we've got much better competition at all those positions where it keeps everybody hungry and everybody working. And now we see, because I really like what we signed from a freshman class, but again, not sure how many of those guys are going to be ready to go. That's what we're going to find out here starting August the 5th.
Randy,
Right now, I feel pretty good about where we're at. Andre's fine. He's been doing, all the things this summer. We had, as I think told our local guys and you, Rachel, and girls, ladies, that, we had a couple surgeries at the end of spring in terms of Bradley Johnson, Silvano, Altamirano, Daniel Adams. All those guys are progressing. Not sure exactly if they're going to be cleared, for practice as we get started August the 5th. They have progressed to the point where they're out there, running and doing those things. So we'll see. But for the most part, everybody else has been cleared and ready to go. I don't think there's anybody else. I think those were really,
Nick Clum, did he get something after spring ball?
Yeah, he just went in, but he's fine.
Okay.
He's been doing the summer conditioning program without any problems. So I think those are probably the three that we'll see, where they are once we get. But they're on schedule in terms of the rehab that they've been, doing with them since they've had those procedures.
at this point,
Harry and Caleb, where are they right now?
They're fine. They've been doing everything.
On schedule?
Yeah, I'm sure they're cleared, ready to go. Again, it might be a situation where when I get back and we get ready to go, I'll have to sit down with, with Wes, and they might, when we go 2-a-days, they might only practice, once a day. But we'll see how that works out when we get back.
Do you have an idea of what Derwin's going to do this year? Do you have an idea of what Derwin's going to do this year?
Still, I think we got a pretty good idea, but still waiting to see what's going to take place there.
But still JUCO or prep would be the two options.
Mm-hmm.
If you pick one or the other.
Well, that's his decision.
I see.
Do you have a preference?
Huh?
So do you have a preference?
Well, again, I think we have to make sure that we see everything there that's going on. But I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be prep school.
Dovetailing on the